What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right. Before I get into this video at hand, I want to remind you guys that if you want to donate to this channel, if you want to show love to this channel, you can do so in the links provided in the description box below. Now, all right. Shout out to Ticket TV. Ticket this video today where he was addressing a video that he did yesterday talking about Stephen A. Smith. And in the video, he was talking about how Stephen A. Smith brought up something that happened years ago. Apparently, I remember the story myself. I think it was 2016, so it was 3 years ago when when Kevin Durant was going through his free agency situation with the Thunder, and supposedly he had a steak dinner with Russell Westbrook. I thought it was Steven Adams and some Thunder official, and supposedly over dinner he told them that he was going to stay with the Thunder organization, and then the next day, of course, he made this announcement, which I think was 4th of July 2016, that he was going to the Warriors. And, of course, a lot of people felt a certain type of way about that. I did. I thought it was, I mean, look, the video is out there, so it ain't like I can lie. It's not like I can lie about it. I thought it was weak from a competitive standpoint. But, it's just because of the fact that, look, I come from a different era. I come from an era where people compete against one another. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I didn't like the move. And I was reacting emotionally in that video too. So, but the thing about it is this. This is what Ticket was trying to, the point he was trying to bring across in this video. It doesn't matter if Kendrick Perkins verifies this story. That's not the point. The point is, this happened 3 years ago. Russell Westbrook moved on. All right? They no longer have any type of beef. Whatever beef was there has been obliterated. Okay, it's no longer there. I know somebody like me, I no longer care about that issue. Okay, Kevin Durant made the move that was best for him. All right, he won championships. All right, 2 consecutive NBA championships, appeared in 3 finals, and we all know, even though Toronto did their thing and won the championship, if this was a healthy Kevin Durant going into the finals, they'd be winning their 3rd championship in a row. And maybe Durant would be tempted to stay with the organization. But apparently, the Draymond Green situation pissed him off more so than anybody ever thought. Okay, so there's that. But the point is, it's not whether or not Kevin Durant did what he supposedly was done to Russell Westbrook. The point is, why is Stephen A. Smith bringing this up now? Why is Stephen A. Smith bringing something up that happened 3 years ago now? And in my opinion, the reason why he did it was strategic and political. I think I think that Stephen A. Smith is trying to poison the atmosphere of the Brooklyn Nets organization already, putting a bug in the ear of management, putting a bug in the ear of the players, in particular, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Well, really, Kyrie Irving. You know, um, there's some similarities. You have with the Thunder organization, it was Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. Okay, you had 2 great players um, coexist with one another. All right, and with the Brooklyn Nets, you have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, 2 great players that are going to be coexist with one another. So, with Stephen A. Smith bringing this up, you're basically telling Kyrie Irving, look, watch out for this guy. He did that to Russell Westbrook, and they're supposed to be cool. They're supposed to be friends. Look if he did that to him, what makes you think he won't do that to you? And we already got to remember that Kyrie has some issues in his career already dealing with teammates. You know, Kyrie Irving hit the greatest shot in the history of the Cleveland Cavaliers organization, and apparently just weeks afterward, LeBron James was going to David Griffin and talking about trying to get one of his best friends, Chris Paul, traded for Kyrie Irving. So Kyrie Irving's already been there with being having trust issues. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie Irving already probably has some trust issues with people. So that's not a that's not something that can be. How can I say this? Like Kyrie's paranoia is something that could be triggered, possibly. So that's one of the reasons why I think he brought that up. And I think that Stephen A. Smith doesn't like Kevin Durant. He can try to sugarcoat all he wants to, try to put on the brave front, the professional front. But I remember, and all my subscribers remember, the you don't want to make an enemy out of me. You know, I can name names and all this type shit. What type of respected journalist would say some shit like that? I mean, seriously, can you guys imagine? I know this isn't sports right here, but can you imagine? Could you imagine somebody like? Oh man, I'm trying to think of a respected journalist. Uh, could you imagine Walter Cronkite saying to Richard Nixon or something? Listen here, Mr. Nixon. You don't want to make an enemy of Walter Cronkite. I know where the bodies are buried. I know information about you that could bring down your presidency. Could you imagine him saying that on air? A respected journalist? Get out of here, man. No matter how he felt personally about a certain figure, he always kept his professional demeanor. That was very unprofessional, Stephen Smith, to say some stupid shit like that on ESPN. But he couldn't mask it because he don't like Kevin Durant, man. He can sit there and say all he wants to. He don't, and try to sugarcoat it. He don't like, to me, in my opinion at least, he doesn't like Kevin Durant. Straight up. He doesn't like him. And that was personal why he did it. And I'm glad that Kevin Durant refuted that. But you know what? When you think about it, Kevin Durant probably shouldn't even refuted it. Because in Kevin Durant's mind, it should be like, man, fuck all of that shit, man. It doesn't even matter anymore. I squashed it. It is what it is. And Kendrick Perkins, I mean, look, he can answer things the way he wants to, but he probably should have said, you know what? It might be some truth to what you're saying, you know what I'm saying? But the past is the past. You know what I'm saying? That happened years ago. You know what I'm saying? They squashed it. People should move on. That's not even a relevant point anymore. He should have went somewhere like that. He got that slow talking demeanor. He should have went somewhere like that with it. And don't get me wrong. I don't support everything Kevin Durant does or says. Obviously, I thought that apparently, him being envious of Stephen Curry and the love he got from the Warriors organization. I mean, come on, Kevin Durant. I mean, it's sort of like it's not exactly the same situation, but it's sort of like Pippen being jealous of Jordan because he's so adored by the Bulls. I mean, come on, man. I mean, it is what it is. Some things you just got to accept, man. Some things you just have to accept. Um, First of all, Curry was drafted by the Warriors. He's been playing there several years for the Warriors. You're not going to be loved by that organization as much as uh, Clay and Steph are loved. That's just how that is. But don't get it wrong, the Warriors organization respected you a lot. And they appreciate what you did for them. At least the real fans. Like people like Joe Bud, I don't know, man. Joe Bud was bragging about Durant, and all of a sudden now he wants him hung in effigy. I mean, I don't get it, but that's what it is, man. I think that in the long, pretty much he wants Stephen A. Smith. He wants there to be some tension between Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, maybe his teammates too, but those two definitely. Because look at it like this. Got to remember, Kevin Durant probably not going to play next year. Probably going to make sure that injury is healed 100%. So it's likely he's going to miss all of the season or nearly all of it. So Kyrie Irving, like Stephen Curry this year, is going to have the green light to shoot in a way that he hasn't had before. Even with the Boston Celtics, he didn't have a green light like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kyrie Irving is amongst the leaders in scoring next year. So what's it to say if Kyrie averages 28 points per game next year, maybe more, and the Brooklyn Nets are somehow third in the division? And then all of a sudden, you start hearing a narrative like, well, it's pretty much been a given that when Durant comes back from his injury, that Kyrie's going to take a back seat to Durant. But, will Kyrie feel comfortable doing that, playing the way he's playing, and the Nets are playing this well, and you don't know how Durant's going to be and all that. Like, I can just see these arguments from afar already with some of these dudes. You know what I'm saying? And Stephen A. Smith is going to do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And already he's putting up the talking points for people to have, already to compare their situation in Brooklyn with what happened and transpired with the Thunder. They're going to always try to create some tension. Because remember this, a lot of the tension that did exist between the Thunder, between Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook after the decision came from the media. The media fed that shit, man. The media created more tension than there was already there. Remember, those guys were cool with one another until whatever transpired happened. Pretty sure they did rub Russell Westbrook the wrong way. I'm pretty sure it did, if it did happen. But the media created so much tension. I remember that shit. It was so much tension. And don't get me wrong, Durant kind of fell into that shit, man. He contributed to it. I don't know if it was directly, but he contributed to it being too vocal about shit. But the point is, the media contributed to that shit, to that beef. The media, to me, is fucking poison. I see now why a lot of people in the past, like Barry Bonds, you know what I'm saying, Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, a lot of these people hated the media. I see why, in the political context, why Donald Trump and Richard Nixon, I see why a lot of these guys hated the media. They want to create a narrative. And if you're not on the good side of that narrative, tell me what you guys think, man.